Hello, good morning, viewers. If you are new to the channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell. Mr. Chinedu Michael, report having that the UN delegates are currently having it difficult to access the court premises. As reported that they have been blocked by the DSS. We understand that a judgment will take place today. But let me get immediate reaction because we have other areas where we are getting report that Nnamdi Kanu's house compound in Afara in Abia State is under heavy security of Nigerian police.
Yes, because there were already a grounded plan to make sure that there's a massive solidarity. That they cannot be able to clamp down on the entire eastern part of the country on any decision being taken to show solidarity to Nnamdi Kanu, either by civil disobedience or whatever, which is their right. So Nigeria should come to understanding that Nnamdi Kanu's trial has become and is causing global attraction and tension. And they continue to show on the unfortunate ways of trying to restrict international observers from taking part in this illegality trial. And of course, it will go a long way to continue to damage Nigeria's image and give credence to Nnamdi Kanu's trial. And that's what it means. It's unfortunate that it has come to this point where there's a global focus on Nigeria currently now, especially centered on this trial of Nnamdi Kanu that has the capacity and the capability to totally destabilize Nigeria at any point in time. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Desmond will be held responsible, and posterity will judge them. Any attempt to jail Nnamdi Kanu today will be resisted, and that's why you see this massive presence or deployment of Nigerian security in Afara.
But let me even go further because the presence of police personnel in his house in Afara is being reported that it's under heavy security. What does that speak about what is happening today?
It is oppression and suppression. That's what it represents. It is a sign, that nobody should rise from that, region as a result of, because they know actually what Nnamdi Kanu actually represents. He is the newest symbol of the Igbo struggle, representing over 85 million Igbos, Biafrans around the world. That's what it means.
But I want to bring this angle because information have it that the Fulanis do not want Nnamdi Kanu released because people say that he was the only voice that was alerting Nigeria about the danger the Fulani pretend before his incarceration.
Yes, but I can tell you that the Fulani government has become an Islamic government in Nigeria. And Nigeria is no longer operating under a constitutional government. Nigeria is operating under a disguised Islamic government called Sharia law. And that is what they are using to try Nnamdi Kanu. They are using Sharia law to try Nnamdi Kanu, And simply because where your questions are very 100% correct is that why is it that Nigerian government have not been able to cut down those who are brandishing different types of sophisticated weapons as bandits and jihadists? They deliberately went after people who has alerted the global community that there is danger in the land and there is possibility of ethnic cleansing and Christian genocide. And they went for Simon Ekpa and of course Nnamdi Kanu. The same people who is bent on making sure they suppress that resistant voice exposing their atrocities. And that's what we are also are seeing currently now happening in the court.
But let me even bring
They
this
are
out.
refusing UN observers. There are serious clash there between the DSS and the United Nations, observer team who are there to witness the downfall of the Nigerian judiciary today.
Because as we have it, before now, we have had a situation where the arm of UN talking about the arm that deals with arbitrary detention of humans being asked Nigerian government to allow the Nnamdi Kanu go. And before then, we had a court of appeal in Nigeria who ruled that the man was extraordinary rendition as such that the Nigerian government have lost every right to prosecute him. Apart from that, Nnamdi Kanu has consistently maintained that the law upon which he is being tried have been repealed as such that he cannot be tried under non-existent law. So in the face of all of this, what will be the position of UN as it make their entrance?
Yes, and when they started reacting based on the findings, I hope the Nigerian government are not going to come out and start defending what they don't know about. When Christians are being killed in Nigeria, they pretended as if they don't know. When there's massive attack in almost all the regions in Nigeria, they pretend they don't know. But they, unfortunately for them, they didn't know that the world has been documenting happenings in Nigeria the same way they are documenting the process of illegality and trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. One day it will be used against them. No matter the way you look at it, the world will use it against them, and there will be evidences that they cannot be able to defend. The UN presence there can trigger a reaction that Nigerian government cannot be able to start. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continual trial can destabilize the global community system, international structures of justice and fundamental human rights that has been thoroughly abused as a result of what the Nigerian government tend to protect. But Nigerian government does not want this exposure of the Fulani agenda and jihadist tendencies in Nigerian government.
Okay, talk to us about this coincidence, because today we are waiting for this judgment, and as we have it, the US Congress is having a public hearing on the issue of genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And Nnamdi Kanu, even as in captivity, are reason to strong in support of every voice calling on America to save Christians in Nigeria. Talk to us about that.
Let me just make it very clearly. I learned that the federal government has dispatched an unfortunate team led by Nuhu Ribadu, the IG and the rest of them, who are going to the United States of America to try to manipulate the United States government to accept non-invasion, of Nigeria. But I do not know very clearly that the United States, they will be disgraced at the United States because, really more, they are going to be, have the fast and check. They don't want to entertain them in that regard. As simple as that. So, there has been series of evidences, against Nigeria in that regard. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has written to Donald Trump, and the letter was actually acknowledged. The US Congress have taken a decision on Nigeria already, and that decision led to the issue of country of a particular concern. So if you factor and begin to structure all these things together and be able to bring the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on the matter, you will know that Nigeria has become an unfortunate nation whose ideals and ideology of leadership is based on Islamizing the entire Nigeria, implementing Sharia, running an Islamic government under disguise. The Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under Omotosho, that is what the United Nations want to hear. That's what the delegate from the United States of America want to see. How Omotosho is going to compromise between an extant law and a law that has been repealed.
Okay,
and that is why the House of Representatives have told Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you cannot get this man. All you need to do is to take powers from a certain section of the Constitution and set him free. They have won. They have told him. And you can see the Nigerian government is bent on, showing that the unfortunate might, instead of taking it to where Boko Haram and Sambisa forests are, the only place they see they can carry out such unfortunate federal government might is in the entire eastern part of the
Okay,
country.
before I let you go, talk to us about the position of federal government through the Secretary of Federal Government this morning, talking about George Akume, who came out to blame American government, particularly Trump, for the renewed hostility of adopting people, invading churches. According to him, that the statement of Trump have triggered insecurity in Nigeria.
Of course, that was too childish of Akume, or what they call him.
Akume,
Yes,
George Akume.
George Akume, that's too childish. He has reduced himself to, a psychopath, within the corridors of power. He wouldn't go and tell the former governor of Benue State the same thing. So you can see the synergy and the connection why the present governor, Hyacinth Elias of Benue State, is making the same statement in connection, and they are in the same line with the secretary to the federal government, George Akume. So you are denying what is happening in Benue State, what is happening in Middle Belt, that there is no genocide. See, that's why we fear that Nigeria does not know what have come to them, especially in the eastern part of the country. Look at what is happening in Imo State. Over 1,000 Fulanis are parading the entire capital of Owerri. What has come to that point is what we refer to a political conquest led by the Fulani government, where they begin to plant their molds to defend, in agreement, to defend Islamic government agenda to conquer and Islamize Nigeria. Look at it. The whole Benue State, the governor is saying there's no genocide. And then the secretary to the federal government too.
From the same Benue.
Where are we actually heading to? The only thing why they are still breathing today, where they are still struggling to be faster than the shadow, is to make sure that before it is too late to take over the Biafran land. That is the target. But they will be disappointed that the amount of resistance.
The truth is finally out. Now that the Finnish government has declared the CDS of Nigeria, Musa, a terrorist now, what is the next phase of the lie? What lies can the government tell Nigerians? Now that Samonepa is no longer in the picture, because it has always been pictured that Samonepa is the cause of insurgency in Southeast, and now that insurgency has stopped in Southeast, and now that the Finnish government has vindicated Samonepa, that those sponsoring insecurity and terrorists in the country are those some persons in the military. Now, where would CDS Musa bury his shame? Because a group of people are saying we want to exit the country. Because the Igbos are saying they are tired of the contraption called One Nigeria. That this One Nigeria, it will not work. And then it has not been working. It has been a country full of lies, propaganda, and shame. That has always been how it is from. So I am not surprised that the Finnish government has now come out to say CDS Musa is a terrorist for all the atrocities he has been, for all the atrocities he has committed in disguise of pretending to keep one Nigeria, and that one Nigeria has caused a whole lot of catastrophe in the country. Just some days ago, a notorious bandit that was declared wanted was seen in Katsina State with top government officials going for peace talk. Between Mazi Samonepa and that terrorist, who is more deadly? Who is more deadly? But here we are today. Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. Kanu is still in detention because of the Igbophobia, of the hate. If Simon Ekpa happens to be from the Fulani extraction, Simon Ekpa would not be a terrorist. I can beat my chest because we've seen Fulani militias that have been given amnesty. We've seen Fulani militias that have been integrated into the society. Now that Finland are waiting to the ICC, Nigeria should immediately hand over CDS Musa for custody, because the French government have done their own findings too, and they've seen that something is fishy under the ground, that this man has a connection with these Fulanis, has a connection with these bandits, has a connection with these terrorists. So if they are sincere, they should hand over CDS Musa to ICC for questioning. Because now that the French government has done their own conclusion, I've seen that CDS Musa himself is not innocent in this. Nigeria cannot pretend as if they are not aware that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how they tend to die the matter, it is in the social media space. Everybody has seen it, that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how the Nigerian government want to die this matter, but they are very quick to declare Simon Ekpa and IPOB a terrorist group. Now that the Finnish government and the ICC has declared CDS Musa a terrorist, why is the story not online? Why is the story not flying online? Because they themselves are also part of people championing insecurity and terrorism in the country. And that is why I say that anybody that speaks against the vision of the country, they will do everything possible to take that person off the hook. They will do everything possible for them to take that person off the hook. That is why I see that Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention. And the Finnish government, they were so gullible to be used by the Nigerian government. They were just too gullible. Because if they were not gullible, why would a country like Nigeria come to tell you that Simon Ekpa is the one sponsoring insecurity all the way from Finland, and you sit your ass down in Finland and you believe them? But there are some rumors that the envelope also changed hand. You know Nigerian story now. You know Nigerian government, that Nigerian government, anything that Nigerian government cannot do to bribe does not exist. I am very sure that the government have bribed the Finnish courts, and that is why I see that Simon Ekpa was wrongfully accused and sentenced. Now that the appeal court is now coming out to reverse all your stuffs. It is now a very clear indication that Simon Ekpa is innocent of all the charges leveled against him, because the Finnish government has come out to indict CDS Musa, saying that CDS Musa is the major financier of insecurity in Nigeria, and it should be tried by ICC, not just local courts. It should be tried by ICC. Enough of all these presidents, we know that this one Nigeria, it can never work. No matter how we tend to rub our heads, no matter how we tend to try to patch things up, that one Nigeria cannot work. And that has always been the current state of Nnamdi Kanu, that one Nigeria would not take us anywhere and that it will not work. Today, the truth is not coming out. The truth is not coming out. Now, the list of people, ICC will publish names of people sponsoring banditry and sponsoring insecurity in Nigeria. Their names will be published. And when that is published, let's see how Sidia Musa would escape it. Let's see how Sidia Musa would escape the wrath. They have used kangaroo judgments to sentence Simon Ekpa. But today, the truth is not coming out. The truth is not out. That everybody knows the reason why insecurity is still thriving in Nigeria. And it's just because of one person that claims he is protecting the masses, rather than supporting the fight for terrorism. But the question is, how long can we continue to be deceived? How long can we continue to be deceived by the Fulanis? Don't forget that the CDS is a Fulani man. How long can we continue to be deceived by a Fulani man in our own country? And tomorrow you say that Biafra will not exist. Biafra will exist. No matter how we tend to hold it, Biafra would exist the country. No matter how we tend to keep it, Biafra would exist this country. And I am sure that Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa will come out strong. No matter how they tend to do all this rubbish, they will come out strong. If today is the first time of coming across this channel, please can you like this video, share it, comment for more political discourse. Thank you.